You said already a what?
A great promo video for Falcon.
Oh man, see, this is this is that talk. This is that talk, man. This is why we have these problems now. Yo, but yeah, man. I mean, I guess yo, it's only right, man. Like I had this idea about doing something called Goat Talk. You know what I'm saying? It was inspired by a joint that I did over uh, a joint from John Noyes, production from a dude named John Noyes. Shout out to John Noyes. And I always wanted to do it. And the pandemic hit, and you know how everybody doesn't like that spike Corona. So I had to hold off on the idea, but I think this is literally the very first one that I'm doing. And it's only right that the first one that I'm doing is with family. You feel me? And I know like anybody who's watching this, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, clearly they cool. But now when I say family, like I really mean like family. This is JR got the hits. You know what I'm saying? Detroit's own. I'm gonna say it like that on camera. You feel me? But this is also my cousin JR. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just happy to have this little quick, what I'm saying, conversation and build with you. You feel me? So
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. As you can tell by his attire, you know what I'm saying. There is a very big spiritual mathematic equation happening here right in front of us. So what's good, Za? What's good?
Oh man, cuz.
Or as they say over there, what up, though?
Oh yeah, what up though? Peace, peace. Um, all that peace and love.
Yeah,
But yeah, man. Happy Thursday.
Thursday, man. You know what I mean? Congratulations on, man. I mean, I don't know what do we call it a record? Do we call it a moment? Like, I don't know how you define Welcome to Dreamville and all that. You know what I'm saying? But congratulations on that release. I guess we'll say for right now.
Congratulations to you.
Oh man, thank you.
You
I'm
pulled
glad
the trigger.
I pulled the what?
You pulled the trigger.
Oh man, this is true, man. The thing about that record is I don't think people realize, man, that's what, 2 years? 2 years?
So the day when you had me, when you let me know we needed to mix it down, that
Mm,
was a Monday, if I'm not mistaken. Monday, March 1st.
probably. Sound about right.
No, matter of fact, no, it was before that. It was before that because it was already uploaded and waiting. It was that week leading up to it, though.
Mm,
I
got
do
you.
remember that. It was maybe that Friday, I think it
Yes.
was. Yeah, and and so that day, um, when you had me check it, it was the yeah. Matter of fact, it was the 26th. Pulled
Okay.
it up, pulled it up, and when I went to the folder to grab the beat to be able to mix the beat, the date on it was 2/27/2019.
Mm.
So it was, you know, literally 2 years, like basically almost exactly 2 years. And
Oh,
um, I even got some video footage from like when the piano and the bass was cut for that record, and they were
yeah.
cut. That video footage is dated 2/26. So 2/27 is just when I went in and cleaned out the beat. You literally 2 years from the day when that
Shit.
that's the day that you hit me. So, you know, speaking of mathematics,
Yeah, right. As you doing that right now, you know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, if anybody watch, I just want y'all to peep the artwork in the background. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this is what we're dealing with here. You know what I'm saying?
oh
Like,
man, there's
it's
Bruce.
oh, with the Bruce lead up, man. Look,
But wait,
look.
wait, 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 wait.
Oh, we got Muhammad Ali too. Look, his mama call him Clay, but I'm still call him Muhammad though. You feel
since
me? Like I'm gonna just do it like that. You know what I'm saying?
since we're doing that,
Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, enlightenments. I feel you. Oh, okay. You already know for the donuts. You know what I'm saying? We gotta do it like that. We got. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, as you can see, all I got is a mirror behind me, but it's because I gotta face myself whenever I'm in this world. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, I
You
hear
gotta be able
you.
to.
I hear you. I hear you. Hey.
Gotta be able to face yourself when you're in this world. You feel me? So I just keep that in the backdrop, just so everybody understands that I'm not afraid of who I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to be fake philosophical right now, though, with all that. But yeah, man. 2 years, man. And what a time though for it to have taken that long. But I think that it's funny because 2 years ago, um, that's kind of when I think that whole storyline that I think took place. You know what I'm saying? Like literally just shout out to my man Doobie. He's actually mentioned on the song. Doobie had forwarded me or tagged me in a listening party for Boss, and I was like, "Word, I'm gonna go." And I was just jamming the Boss's new joint, and I told my homegirl Unique, like, "Yo, we're gonna go out there." And of course, like Unique being Unique always, she's like, "Yo, if we go out there, you're gonna meet him." And I'm like, "I mean, yeah, maybe." You know what I'm saying? Nah, you're gonna meet him. And she's a very big Dreamville fan, and always felt like that was a place for me to be. And then we just happened to go out there, and I just happened to step outside and make a phone call. I turn around and homie's on the curb. Well, not on the curb, but he's outside the venue, with his homie just, chatting it up, building, and they building on the live, but I wasn't even realizing they was on the live. You feel me? So I was, he just seen me. It was like, "What up, champ?" We talk, what I like. Can I get a flick? Cool, no problem. Homie takes the phone. I'm passing the phone to Unique because she happened to just come outside right when that happens. And
My
yeah,
steps are
like
ordered. This ain't a joke.
stuff's an order. This ain't a joke, and uh, that IG spotlight will appreciate it. Shorty, I shouted out live. We didn't make it, and it's funny. It's funny though because I have that footage too. Because during the live, who the a homie who had the camera, he was like, "Yo, tell us what that record is, what your favorite record is." And I was just like, "Man, I really rock with Tribe because it's something about the way that the energy of it." And then I had mentioned, I think, PDA, and I was like, "Yeah, you know what I'm saying." And it was like, "Yo, you got to dedicate that to somebody, dedicate that to somebody." So I was like, "All right, I'm gonna just dedicate it to this person because we were friends at the time." But we ended up no longer being friends, so it's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
yeah, man. But yeah, it was. People don't even realize, man. That whole thing is a real true story, man. But tell me, like, I guess your style. You know what I'm saying? Like, for lack of a better word, I don't think there's anything that's out right now that sounds like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, peace to everybody that can drum, that can play piano, can play keys, can orchestrate, organize. But I don't think there's anything that sounds like that. Like, is this like is just like one of the tools in your shed, or is this a sound that you're trying to impose upon um your portfolio, if that makes any sense?
Oh man, it's a sound. It's a sound. But so right now, we live in this era of, uh, like a lot of people have gear at the crib. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So like, got vocals at the crib. You got little 25 key keyboards you can take everywhere. Stuff like that.
yeah,
And I have those things, but I'm a drummer. I've played drums, pretty much all my life,
yeah,
and so uh, I also always desired to just be able to cut drums, anywhere, stuff like that. So I've kind of made it a point to not be boxed in by the typical rules
right,
of drum recording. Like, oh, you gotta have 5 mics, or you gotta have 7 mics, and mic has to be this much off the head, and this and that. Like, them drums on Welcome to Dreamville, you could hear my son in the background. That was me at the crib taking out my Android at the time. I didn't even have an iPhone yet. So I took out my
Mm.
Samsung S10,
Mm.
hit record, and set it on the ground, and hit record and recorded a voice note on, but it wasn't no voice note. Obviously, it was a drum note.
Mm.
so
Yo, man. Yeah, continue.
so so cut that cut just didn't cut drums like, oh, I'm cutting drums for this song or whatever else. Just was I like have a thing or a practice of just every now and again, because I got a couple of drum kits around the crib, just setting up the mic or setting up the phone and just playing for a little bit, and then I'll later on I'll go in and break it up in a little bit, little loops or things like that, and then just keep them in folders, and then that way when I'm in situations and something comes up, and like say, I like to gather people together. That's kind of a thing, musically or not musically. I just like gathering people together, and so when I'm at the studio and I gather musicians together, and catch a vibe, somebody's on bass, somebody's on keys or whatever else, and I'm sitting at the computer. Oh, that's fresh, you know,
Mm.
keep that going,
Yeah.
and just put something up real quick, match up a loop that I have, like that's me playing, and then we continue to vibe, and I'm recording whatever they're doing, and then I'll go back in later on and make it make sense, turn it into song structure or whatever else. That's just the way I've been, making music for a while, and like I can do it other ways. Sometimes I just sit down and start with a melody. Like I can't. I wouldn't call myself a keyboard
Right.
player because I
Yeah.
know keyboard players,
Yeah.
but I can communicate, on keys, and you know what I mean. I like what it takes to be able to create a full song. I can do that, but I started out for so many years, playing like say on drums in church or whatever else, and so like that the magic of capturing something in the moment is something that I fell in love with very early on. It came along like it was a package deal with me for music, you
Mm.
know. So
I think, and I don't even mean to cut you off, but I feel like as musicians, like I think we all need to start. I feel like, and I'm gonna start myself because I don't do it often, but I feel like we all need to start stating like, even though we may not be the greatest at something, um, we actually are what we are. You know what I'm saying? Like to hear you say like, I'm not great on, I'm not a keyboardist, I don't play the keyboard like that or the piano like that, but I know how to communicate it. That's like that's equivalent to somebody saying like, I ain't no basketball player. Like I could put up 8 points. That's about it. Like, okay, so then you play basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's funny though, because us as musicians, we have such respect for the craft that it's like if we can't, you know, do what we would normally do in our field in another field, but it's in the same field, we're always just like, nah, I'm not a real, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like we all need to just start embracing that, dog, because I feel like that's kind of what holds us all back from even moving forward. Because it's like, oh, well, I'm not really that, so I'm not going to really put my 10,000 hours in it. And we don't even realize that we've technically already put in our 10,000 hours. It's just now recognizing that and then moving forward with uh honing that skill, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, I just that's just my opinion. Cause it's I can hear it in the music. I can just hear, especially with that song, I can just hear like it's you. It may be, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's everybody else involved, but it's still you. Like I know it's you. And I feel like when it's you, you know, um, you're I just feel like people are allowed to kind of put themselves within that space and say like, no, I do. Like me, I be saying like, yo, I ain't no singer, but I need to start saying like, nah, I'm a singer, which is why now when they introduce your boy at at lectures and seminars, it's like rapper, singer, songwriter. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I hold
mhm,
that truth. You know what I'm saying? Um,
yeah.
just just as tight as I'm holding this piece right here. you know what I'm saying, I hold that truth. You know what I'm saying? So
I feel it. I feel it. But see, you gotta understand, cause I've I've been around some of the best, musicians, like names that we all know, or
of course.
like people I know closely. I watch on TV perform, and then even on Welcome to Dreamville, you know, that's that's Chevy De Lorenzo on bass. Chevy that
Woo.
travels the world, that's Von, Armstead, VA 88, 88 keys, you know what I'm saying? But Detroit 88 keys. But
Right, right.
VA
There's a
88, like,
difference.
you know what I mean? Like that's,
Yeah,
like these are masters.
of
You know what I
course.
mean? And so like that's why I say what I say is because like I'm a master drummer. And
There's
I
no
can say that
question.
I can say that about myself without, like, and still remain humble. It's just a fact. I'm a master drummer. I'm not, but I'm not a master keyboard.
Yo, yo, the humble brag. Yo, anybody who ever meets JR, I say this to him all the time, and he know what I'm about to say, man. He be having humble brags, but his humble brags ain't so humble, dog. Like, but I love it though because it's kind of like yay, like that one moment where he was just like, who are you? Like I just told you who I was, and I feel like especially for our people, we really got to start owning our our crowns and our royalty. We come from royalty, so it's like like no, like if you're a master at something, you gotta own that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's seen what happened to Bruce Leroy. He was getting tore up by Show Enough until he finally realized, like, I am. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
you gotta be able to really accept that, man. So I definitely I applaud that, and I definitely get it, man. Definitely get it. Um, yeah, man. So what? We got to do some more work, man. Like we can't just leave them with Welcome to Dreamville. I got too many. There's too many. There's too many producers right now, very upset. So we gotta. So we gotta do more. We gotta do something else, man. Like I need. I don't know. I need something. I need something else. We gonna have to drop something else. I don't know.
uh,
Um,
I mean, I'm I'm with it. I'm sure we can figure out something. You know what I mean?
by the time this come out, I don't know, man. I think we gotta drop. Yeah, 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 yeah. We gotta drop waves today. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that that's just like the natural occurrence for the records, and I think that that would be smart. And it's funny too because you speaking about how now during the pandemic everybody's been able before prior and even more so now people having equipment in their crib like if anybody that know me for years, I would say like, yo, I don't want no studio in my crib. I don't want, you know what I mean? I want to be able to go to the studio. I love the feeling of being able to go somewhere.
Hmm.
And here I am with a, Townsend microphone and Apollo Twin and cutting records and mixing Jones and my headphones and, you know, even with that record, Welcome to Dreamville, like that's just straight. I'm pretty sure you got a different way you had to take care of that. But even with that recording and that mix, we're talking about like the way that I pause in within the verse. That's me waiting for a train to pass by. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just knowing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even with the mixing, like having the having.
Pause.
Yeah.
It said the pauses in the verse. Are you pausing for a train to come by?
Yeah, like so over where I'm at, like I can hear when the train is on going eastbound or westbound, but like it won't it won't pick up on the mic until it's about maybe within like I want to say like maybe 50 meters of the building, and if you time it right, you can kind of like uh, what is it This is my Dreamville application. The spinners have been making and I do so they shot on live, didn't make it. So when I go, yeah, that yeah is because I was actually saying, yeah, the train was done. It just passed by. You
So
know
literally,
what I'm
literally, the train comes. You welcome the train to Dreamville,
saying?
and the train keeps moving.
Fact though, like yeah, just keep yeah. Look you way a real level up. Word, yeah. I mean, it's and I have fun. I have fun with it. It's almost like exercise. You know what I'm saying? Knowing your cadences and knowing your breath control and
Man,
all
I
that.
love our people, bro. We could throw anything at us. You can
For
throw
sure,
anything at us, and we just gonna be like, "Oh, that's what you got."
for sure. Yo, matter of fact, remember when I first tried to send you a record when I first started to learn how to record it, and I think it was during like the very peak last year of Black Lives Matter with rest in peace George Floyd, and there's nothing but helicopters flying around my apartment, especially because of where I'm located in Brooklyn. And I think I sent you a record where it was like you're hearing it in the back, hearing that in the background, and then on top of that, the flux of fireworks. And everybody, listen, everybody in New York City know, like we have fireworks in the summer. There's nothing new about that. You feel me? It was the amount though. Like, I mean, look, I don't know who's watching this, whatever, who's gonna be watching this, but clearly there was something trying to be done because like we're talking about like you couldn't sleep at some points, like for weeks. You know what I'm saying? Is they were like at some point sounding like bombs. You know what I'm saying? So like I was recording through that, like sending people mixes, and they're like, "Yo, you at a firing range, my guy? Like, what's going on? Where you recording that? But the beauty of not wanting to let your craft go to waste and recognizing the beauty in certain things so you know what time it is and
Mhm.
I'm grateful for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah,
grateful for
man,
that for real.
that's
you know
fire,
um
fire.
but yeah, you know think
So,
I think we got a couple joints though, but like what was your process when it came to mixing this record?
so, uh, you know, when you sent me back the vocals, pulled the vocals in, and listened to them, and I felt like there could be a better pocket for the vocals,
Mm,
yeah? Like not rhythmic, but like I wanted to carve out sonic for the
mm,
vocals. So kind of uh, did some filtering on the piano. The piano was a little bright and felt like it was crowding you,
mm.
uh, and so kind of ducked the piano down with some filtering and EQing, and then uh, beefed up the drums, uh, like the drums being recorded on the phone and then being recorded in a room that doesn't have dampening in it. There's a lot of it was just a real wet, roomy sound on the drums, and I wanted to kind of contain that. So used a deverbing type effect, not to be confused with Deverb the plugin,
Mm.
but a deverbing type of effect or noise reducer uh, on the drums, because again, it's just a mono, it's just a monophone recording. Uh, so deverb the live drums and then add a little bit by way of MIDI and you know hocus pocus, you know,
Yeah,
person there.
you gotta say hocus pocus at that point because even with me, knowing the verbiage and all that, like I'm still trying to figure out how your drums, bro. Like there's a point where your drums, it sounds like you playing the drums, and then it sounds like the drums have like entered another dimension and they just falling. Like just nothing but drumsticks and drums just falling and just hitting like bruh, like I never nah man, like there's I don't care which first of all, anybody watching this, I don't care what he said, that ain't how he did it. Cause he's not gonna tell us exactly how he did it. He gonna he gonna walk us to the goal, but then not actually show us where the goal is. You feel me? Like, so I don't even know why I asked that question, but you feel me? But I get it though. You know what I'm saying? Oh wait, I don't know if can you hear the train?
Mm-mm.
Crazy. It's just now hitting the building and passing through. I had to bring it up because I just realized that it was coming eastbound. Crazy. But yeah,
To the
man,
east,
like huh?
to the east, my brother, to the east.
Man, look, we have we can save those conversations for a whole other I don't know, man. Everybody be asking me to do a podcast. I might have to take everybody up on that. I don't know. See how my interview skills are. But
Hey, you
but
should.
yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the
Man, you got a
entrepreneurial.
million and one stories. You got a million and one stories, man.
I
So like that alone is what you could do a podcast with no guests, and
oh man.
it would be wow.
Oh
Are you
man.
kidding me?
I mean, you
That's why the
know,
songs sound like they sound.
I was gonna
Send
say
them welcome to Dreamville.
welcome to Dreamville, man. Welcome to Dreamville, and it's a true story. Like I mean, even just the, you know, but like I don't know. I feel like Welcome to Dreamville is a different chamber of mine because it's a story, but it's a conversation. Like it literally is like if you walked in and you had an application, you know, what would you? I don't know. Like I feel like it's it's quintessentially the modern day uh, pitch to a label, and I didn't mean for it to be that. Like, you know, anybody that knows me when it comes to writing songs or creating songs, I just let stuff be. And a lot of times people say like, "Oh, you got to stay, you know, within the bounds, and you got to, you know, stay on point with your subject matter." And it's like, no, I'm on point, but like, there's so much more to it. Because if I had just simply just talked the box the whole time, I don't think that it would have like resonated as much. And then the fact that, you know, just that was real time reaction. The my bars of water for the soul, that's the H2O, elephant in the room, you know, will be the biggest goat. Go. Oh, speaking of those, yo, Cole, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a
Mhm.
real time, like where I was just like, you know, because at the time everybody was saying, you know, Cole was a goat. You know, how many albums is that? That's three albums, no features, and going number one and going platinum. You know, that's goat status. That's three
Yeah.
chips. That's three chips in a row.
Mhm.
That's Jordan. That's Jordan and Cole. You
That's
feel me?
three. That's three LeBron on the Cavs chips.
Three LeBron on the Cavs chips. Jeez. Yeah, man, it's big, and I just you know yeah, it's the GOAT. Speaking of those, yo, Cole, remember when we linked on the Blueprint 3 tour? You know, and our verse material left even on, made him something me more, like who Bush one did Bleak sign y'all. At the time, yeah, like when I was on the Blueprint 3 tour, like it was me, Mel Star, and DJ Mel Star and LNs at the time. And yeah, we were on Bleak's bus. And we had like Tony Royster, a few people on the bus. Living proof. Um, and yeah, man, on that tour every night, I just watched, you know, Hove. You know what I mean?
So
And then
t- t- talk about that. Like how did that situation come out?
How it come about?
Like how did that situation come about that ultimately led to that content on the record? Because clearly there's a story on the record, and not a bunch of people could say like, oh yeah, on the Blueprint 3 tour. You know what I mean? So like, so somebody who doesn't know your story, like like how can what type of or what elements from the backstory can help them wrap their head around what was actually happening at that time.
Mm. I mean, as simple and minimalistic as I can make it. During that time, I was on television for a show that used to come on BET called 106 in Park, and I had competed as a Freestyle Friday champion, and I won. You probably won't find that footage because I don't even go by that pseudonym anymore. But I won, and you want to talk about pre-social media? Like, I got a message randomly from somebody saying, "Yo, I like what you did. I think that you're, amazing. Yada yada yada. The usual smoke and usual gas." And they were like, "Yo, I want to help you do shows." Uh, Ironically, though, as I'm reading this email, I'm touring in London. So, of course,
Mm,
me, I'm just like, well, I'm trying to think about what I've learned from the game. So I was just like, well, if you really that serious, you know what? You can't give me what you think I need because I already got it. So what I really need is I need merch. I got this big show and I need merch. And they actually went and sent me like two big boxes of merch. It was my first merch. It was nuts. It was nuts. I don't know if I can find the photos, but like I'm like just throwing out t-shirts, just like I mean
mm,
random. Like it's just what I'm saying. And on top of that, back then I was known for having records that weren't recorded. Like I go and do hella shows, and I love that song. Like, and I wouldn't have anything.
mm.
So I literally put together a mixtape within that week, got the cover art done and sent it to them, and they pressed them Jones, and it was great. But fast forward, I got back to the States, and they're like, "We're gonna put you on this tour," and I'm like, "Okay." They're like, "Nah, nah, that tour's not good enough. We're gonna put you on this tour." Like, nah, 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 that tour's not good enough. It's not big enough. We gotta find something that defines, something big. And I'm like, "Okay, whatever, dog. Like, whatever." I'm still thinking they're lying, and then one day I meet up with G to K, and they're talking to me about Bleak, and um yeah, I got the call and got told like, "Yo, you're gonna go to Rock the Mic today, or on this day, and you're gonna go on tour for like 2 months." And I'm like, "What?" Like, yeah, wow. So I end up going on the tour, and I'm on Bleak's bus, and that night in particular, yeah, Ontario, we were in Canada, and Cole didn't really come to the after parties like that. He did though, like occasionally. But this one time I hadn't performed yet. And it was the way that, oh yeah, that's the other thing about the story, right? I was doing like Hove would have the shows and then Bleak would do the after parties. And it was smart because your man is getting bread off of what I'm saying? The movement. I thought it was brilliant. I was like, oh, that's genius. Like Blueprint 3 after party, but it turned to a Myth Bleak concert and Myth Bleak and friends. So you'd have Wale, you have Young Chris, you'd have all these people. And I just remember one of those nights, Bleak kind of just was like, "Yo, I'm not going out. Yo, near, well, whatever my name was at the time, you near, that's you." So I'm hosting the club. I'm doing what I know how to do because I used to host clubs in New York City. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hosting the club, tearing up, and I see Eve and I see Cole. And I just remember they came up because they recognized we were with the camp basically. And um shout out to DJ Mel Star. No headphones in Harlem. Mel Star put on the Chris Brown "Look at Me Now" record, and
Uh-huh.
back then I flowed super fast. So I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yo, how many of y'all want to, hear Cole rap? And Cole was just like, what? Like you wilding right now. But he didn't know that what I was gonna do. So he's just looking at me with his drink. I'm like, bro, what you talking about? And I'm like, actually, you know what, Cole? Cole, hold up, Cole. You just got done doing the show, right? No. I got it, big homie. Tell me where to shoot at. Tell me where to shoot at. And Cole was like, bow, and he's, they're people who are there, they're watching this interaction and they're like, yo, like, okay, what's about to happen? And I start spitting fast and basically we acting like we shooting up the room with these bars. And yeah, that after that thing, Eve was just like, yo, bro, like, nah, I need to know this. I need to know who you are. Cause there's no way I don't know who you are. Like, whose bus you on? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, well, I'm on, did Bleak sign you? Like, this is what I mean by my version of storytelling. Like, I'm telling you verbatim. You know what I'm saying? And
Uh-huh.
and then I ran into them actually on another tour, on a tour with Talib Kweli. I ran into them at Rutgers University, and they actually remember that. And then the last time I spoke to Eve was maybe like 2019 at a Young Thug event. I think it was with Rap Radar. We were at the 4040 Club, and I ran into Eve, and it was just like, I don't know if you remember. We talked for a little bit, you know, and Eve's always a good dude. Anybody, I don't know if anybody knows who Eve is, but Ibrahim, he's a good dude, very encouraging. And yeah, so yeah, but yeah, there's tons of stories, but that story in particular was what it was. And then the manager, oh man, the manager, he told me not to trust is doing time, dog. Feds got it right, dog.
Right,
Let me
dog.
let me clarify that for anybody. I don't condone or nor am I happy with anybody having to go through lockup. However, that was a real emotion. Uh, because the manager who got me on that tour, um, stole, or you know what? Let's say withheld, withheld, probably my first million ever, and other
Whew.
people's money as well. And from what I understand, um, got hit on um, doing a traveling agency where he tried to uh, steal people's money. Now that I can say, steal people's money who invested in the travel agency. And I was getting called from the feds like for years. And um, yeah, they got him. Ironically, though, here, mathematics, right? I found out this was I think a year afterwards that he got hit, but I found out about a week before the boss event. So subconsciously in my head, I know I was going to talk about that. So if it wasn't for that, in combination with the boss joint, I don't think I would have really even like been able to, you know what I'm saying, to go there with that. You know what I'm saying? And it just all really ties in, and then, even with the times I try to reach out to Dreamville and Cole, that part where I'm like, I try to reach out when Era and Heritage with Buddy Buddy with DJ Dummy. I don't know if Dummy's still Cole's DJ, but at the time he definitely was. And yeah, I had some friends in London that always supported me every event I had back then. Shout out to EO Dub, London, UK, and shout out to Snuff. And they were my people. They held me down for real. But like the second that I mentioned, like, wanting to like reach out to Cole through them, yeah, I remember Eric gave me this whole like, nah, like, you like, like, we love you and stuff, but like that's Cole, bro. Like, that's greatness. Like, you'll never be that, bro. Like, that's not for you. Like, we can't just give anything to Cole. He's like the god right now, isn't it? And I was just like, dang, like, so y'all believe in me so much that y'all come to every event, but y'all won't even like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, and then that whole believing yourself when others don't is really healthy. And then when I got to that point in the song, I was just kind of like, so. And I think that's the greatest part about that part in particular is like it's the real reaction and like,
Uh-huh.
so if if there's availability on your roster, would you tell me? And I just made it just to make it. But in this era, you got to kind of sell it and be like, yeah, yo, I'm really trying to, you know, sign to Dreamville, and it was just a cool song, man. It was just a little cool little joint. You know what I mean? I can't believe
You
you had me
did
go
that.
through the breakdown though.
You did that. You, you,
I,
you did that. For real.
Long winded. Anybody watching this, I'm sorry for being long winded. That whole story, that's my cousin's fault. You know what I mean? And shout out to Janelle Ryan and shout out to Sadine and Lotto, my manager. Like, shout out to all y'all who really want my story to be like, out there in public.
So I don't understand what my role is if it's not to get you to open up.
You're the producer, right? That's it. That's what you're supposed to do, I guess.
So I mean, I don't. I mean, I don't feel like that's what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah,
Provide a safe space for you to tell your story. That's. I mean, that's what the
yeah.
best producers do.
Hey man, don't what they oh man, I'm trying to think of a line Ben Stiller would say. I guess look who's a philosopher. look, who, look who's a philosopher.
Philosophier.
Yeah, I mean, what movie is that? That's I think it's Dodgeball where he's just like, look who's a philosopher. Um, but nah, I know I feel you, and I mean that's the great thing about music, right? Is the ability to express and to be honest and to tell your truth. And I think that's why the music is so quick for me. Even though now I think it's slow, it's slower now because I'm just trying to think of different structures. But yeah, coming up with songs, you tell me to just rhyme something, I'm gonna rhyme something. You tell me to sing something, sing something. I think that's what I think that's our roots. You know what I mean? Because our family lineage, we come from historical, I don't mean that just as, people of this wonderful, melanin, but I mean actually like, with jazz, like,
That's
Minton's
real.
Playhouse, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
real.
Like, you know, and we'll get into that another time. I ain't gonna get into
Yeah,
that now.
that's a whole other story. Yeah,
Shout out to my pops. Shout out to my
yeah,
pops on that one. But yeah, like
yes.
we come from a whole other dimension. So it's like, you know, I just want to be able to, just make the best music possible and just give people a vibe, man. And you know, I keep it honest. You know what I'm saying? I keep it super honest. Because I don't. There's nothing to even lie about. You know what I mean? Like, and when I get my first my first million, I'm gonna be honest about that too. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I think that music, with intention and empathy and sympathy, um, is what really drives. And at least for me, that's what I really listen to. I love hearing Rick Ross flex, or at least, his catalog, because somehow, some way, I empathize with it. You know, um, when I seen a million, it fucked up my life. Like I just like just the way, I don't know, man. Like the way he said that, I'm never get. Every time when I mention Ross, I always go back to that record specifically. You know, Body in a
Speaking of
hundred
Ross
what
Flex,
40, huh?
I said, speaking of Ross Flex, the fact that his crib is the palace, the sequel, that's his crib. That's his actual house.
Man, the fact that that is the crib for Coming to America. And the fact that Coming to America is finally released and he just bought another crib. Yeah, I mean, I guess the biggest boss. You know what I'm saying? Boss. Rose. I need that that cross branding at some point in my career. We're gonna put that here on Zoom. I'm gonna make that happen at some point. Um, because I definitely, as a matter of fact,
Yeah.
I think I just did a record for the homie Ruff where I said something like, I'm more Fresh Prince of Bel Air with a rose. Um, something like that. But yeah, so look, man, cause I can't thank you enough for allowing not only allowing for me to create with you, to create with your superpowers and create with your with your colors, your paint. You feel me? And yeah, man, I look forward to the next few. I can't say couple because it's definitely not gonna be two more records. It's gonna be a few, a slew of, you know. I'll say I look forward to the next batch of JR Got the Hits times Near Games catalog. That's what I look forward to. And
Yeah.
yeah, man, we got so much more. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the person who made this piece. This piece is fire. Hopefully one day I get to meet them. You know what I'm saying? I think that they're like
Yeah.
an amazing human being. Yeah, I gotta shout them out too because I think this came from your area. You should lock in. Like he's dope. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know what I
Yeah, man.
mean? Like
I've heard good things. I've heard I've definitely heard good things. I met him a couple of times,
word.
and
See that. I hate that. I hate. Why does he have to do that? Why does he have to
you know,
do that?
that's it's my guy. Uh, my guy.
Yo, my God, I know him. Oh my gosh. Well, for anybody that is watching this piece in particular is from actually the man right in front of me. You feel me? And I'm sure one day he'll really get into that. But anybody that ever goes on my Instagram, you always gonna see the tag for the copper. So, and I'm always talking about it. So, but the Cuban comes separate. The Cuban comes separate. It's just I just want
Yeah.
to point that out. It's a different kind of.
Move the copper around again. I like the sounding.
Oh yeah, no, it's real. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've done enough. Pretty sure I've done enough reels where you kind of like you get to hear that. You get to hear
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? Like yeah, yeah. So is the earth and the ground. You know what I mean? You can find out what the universe is trying to tell you if you just listen. Um, but yeah, so you know, peace and love to you, man, to the family. Um, and
I got
man, just yeah, genius, man. I appreciate your genius, and I appreciate you, uh, you know, being a goat. And thank you for dropping in on episode 1. You know what I mean? A goat talk. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he just froze, but
Hey man, peace and love. Can you hear me now?
yeah, yeah,
Am
there
I
we
here
go.
now?
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
yeah.
all right. Yeah. But no,
Yeah.
I said peace and love back at you, cuz. That's for sure. And yeah, we just getting started.
That's a
We
fact.
just getting started. And 10 years from now, we just getting started.
Fact. Yo, let me look. I gotta actually put this in before we even end this. I just want y'all to know that I have to deal with this on a regular because anytime Cuz is really ready to start saying something very meaningful and very like, for whatever reason, his signal just starts to act up. And I don't know what it is. It's like there's a frequency that he gives off or something that just makes whether it's the screen will freeze or the mic will cut, whatever the case may be. But like, you gotta just like feel that though. You just gotta accept it, like, oh, okay, so I guess they're in tune with what he got going on. They want JR to play, but they don't want him to speak because they know that he gonna change the minds of those who are listening. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the
Well, Noble Drew Ali said, if I could just get you to think, you could save yourself.
That's a fact. And I'm saving myself right now by keeping to this time that I said I was going to stick to. Otherwise, we'd be on this Zoom for about 3 hours.
Hey, man, we could go in like that. But
you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
not too much, not too much. You only give a glass of water at a time, not the whole pitcher.
Absolutely, man. Not everybody's bladder is in control. Yo, we have to definitely link either back in New York. Listen, I'm gonna keep it all the way 3,000. If we link in New York, we're going only to Mercy because for some reason that vibe that we caught in there. I've been to many studios, and no offense to any, to Mercy itself, I've been to studios that I prefer more than Mercy. But man, if I ever link up with you again in a studio in New York City, we're going to Mercy. And then of course, if I come to Detroit, you already know where I'm going. You know what I'm saying?
You just reminded me to pull those steps.
Fuck. Okay then. Okay
Ooh.
then. Okay then. Okay then. Okay then. You know what I mean?
Ooh, yeah.
I'm trying to.
Yeah.
What's it?
Yeah.
Baby wants you. Oh,
Yeah.
baby. Yo, I remember. I remember a little bit of it.
Yeah.
I remember a little bit. I remember a little bit. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since I heard that Jones. Some Jones actually.
Oh man, I'm excited. Oh, I
Facts.
forgot. Oh man, hold up. Let me write this down so I don't forget to do this today. Yeah.
That's the catalog, man. That's the
Nope.
catalog, man. That's the catalog. That's the catalog.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Wow. Oh man.
That's the catalog, man. But look, I'm out. This is Janir Gaines with a wonderful, peaceful interview with the GOAT himself. JR got the hits. And episode 1, this is GOAT Talk.
Peace and love. This is Jay. I got the hit. With the go. The elephant in the room.
You already know. And yo, when you're in the elephant in the room and you realize it, you just realize you're in a room full of elephants. You already know, cause I love you. And yeah,
Love you.
to the next piece of the catalog.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We out.
All right.